هلا كيفك؟ صحتك؟
نعيمة كيفك؟ اخبارك؟
اخبارك؟
تمام كوتش صحة كيفك؟ تمام
مرحبا عدنان كيفك؟
الحمد لله
هلا ركبت الجامعة والله أحلى أرجيلة يلا
اخبارك؟ يلا ليتس دو ات
زعيم
يا هلا فيك
اخبارك؟
كيفك؟
الحمد لله
معك رامي يا هلا يا هلا يا هلا
ضرب
It's busy today.
Yeah.
Everybody's here.
We said we're gonna do something. We didn't know, and now he just said Argile.
Argile? Yeah, for sure.
You're up
If
for
I'm
it?
invited anyway. Yeah. I invite
ما
myself.
بدها عزيمة الأرجيلة بتركب دغري.
Yeah. Sorry, I've never met him before. What's...
Oh, we met him here.
Oh, yeah?
Faisal?
Faisal? يا هلا عدنان.
عدني هلا.
هلا.
شرفنا. فيصل third generation.
Wow.
2.5.
2.5. What? How does that work?
هلا بس يخلص حلاقة بخبر. Dangerous هلا بلموس.
قرب يخلص.
قرب يخلص يلا.
What about the rest of you guys? Are you all Lebanese or?
فشارك no.
عجاز صحلك.
No, and I'm stateless. I'm Palestinian actually.
No, he's from Mars.
From Mars.
He's stateless. He said stateless.
Stateless, yes. That's what I've always been known to be stateless, but no, I'm Palestinian.
So الشاب هون فلسطيني مصري حسن.
حسن من نيجي بتاع من مصر.
العراق العظيم. العراق العظيم.
العراق. أنا من السودان.
السودان.
لبناني محض.
وعمان أشهر من النار على علم.
You're Lebanese, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Kennedy يا سندي.
حلو منك حلو.
كندي عربي؟
Guys, there's water and coffee in the back if you like.
شكرا.
أنا بكمان.
شكرا لك.
يا هلا شرفتم يا هلا. أنت من أمتى بتعرف على حالك stateless؟
That's always been the case. First of all, يعني أنا I've been denied visas to all over the place. Like any part of the world you can think of, I've been denied visas. There's places where I lived where I actually, on a 6-month basis I had to renew my iqama, and because of I'm in school or whatever, and I'd get denied. Like it's almost like here's 7 days, leave the country. هلا بالبلاد العربية كوت ان كوت عربية بكتب لك انه فلسطيني يعني، بس انه بالبلاد الأجنبية اللي عشت فيها ما في شيء اسمه فلسطيني. They define it as stateless. The only time that يعني you feel انه if there is any semblance of home أو إنه you have an identity, not that I really believe identity is defined by your nationality, بس إنه it was when we came here to Canada.
Yeah, so you're Canadian at least.
Now.
Okay.
Before I wasn't.
So you have a status right now. So
How did you get here? How did you get here?
I immigrated. Like I was working in the Gulf and I applied for immigration as a professional, and then I got accepted and came. But before
you fooled them as a professional?
Yeah, I fooled them.
what year is that?
They took the bait. That was 2002.
Yeah, certainly. Same years as mine, but I came a different way.
And you immigrated as a professional as well?
No, I was family reunion. So my sister, put the application.
Your sister was here before?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
طرابلس الشاب.
Yeah, ما جمال من طرابلس كمان.
هلا بحن
So we team up, yeah, exactly.
He's gonna get a good haircut.
That's why I'm.
الله يرضى عليك ظبطنا انا خيي. لك الواسطة بتشتغل حتى هون والله حرام عليك وهربنا من تحت يا زلمة.
هاي القومية العربية شو كلمة هاي القومية العربية الصفات العربية ثابتة يعني.
ها؟ What?
Say what?
الصفات العربية هاي يعني انه
أي
القومية
واحدة.
العربية انه المعارف والواسطة
Oh, Ante, you're saying it's a good thing? It's a good thing?
He's saying it's
It
a thing.
depends.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
The other Bible
It
decides.
depends. It depends on how
لحظة شوي. أول
But
شيء
even
مش-
here in Canada, there is network and connection.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same. It's a human thing.
شو دكتور؟ انت بتطبق واسطة عندك بالشغل ما بتطبق الواسطة؟
Not comes with qualifications as well. So if you know somebody, it makes it easier for him to get into it. But if he's not qualified, then you don't necessarily give him a preferential treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who you
Qualification
know
comes
gets
first.
you there. What you know keeps you there.
Gives you advantage in terms of applying it.
Yeah.
نعيما يا فيصل.
Yeah, نعيمة.
صال
ايوه
نعيمة عريس
نعيمة،
ولا
نعيمة.
عريس تفضل قوم
يلا
عريس
Thank you.
ما شاء الله.
نعيمة
يلا انا
So
next.
Faisal's gonna go with us Argile after?
ايه
Yeah, okay.
فبدنا نظبط هيدي شوي
قلتي؟
وشوف كيفك تظبطها بمعرفتك يعني انت.
ولا يهمك
وفيصل اعتق واحد فيكم كلكم هون على فكره.
كيف؟
2.5 generation كل.
Yeah, and what do you mean by 2.5 generations?
That was just a,
خلخين هون انت
that's a private
بشيك.
joke. My grandmother was Métis in this country, and my mother was born and raised here till she was in her teens, and then the whole family went back to Lebanon. And my grandfather came here when he was in 1905, so he was here for a long time too, and he identifies himself as a Canadian, and he was very fluent speaking English. He was very fluent speaking Cree.
Interesting. What did he do, by the way? I mean, and
He
how
was
did
a fur trader. Back in the early 1900s, he was a fur trader. He had a partner. They opened a general store in Fort Chipewyan. My grandfather was in charge of the trade with the furs and transporting the furs and arranging them all the way from up north to here, Edmonton.
That's amazing.
And it started off, they would bring them by dog sled from Fort Chip to Laklabish because there was no train. Then from Laklabish here by train. Yeah?
But so when you say 2.5, is it because it's your mother's side? So
Yeah.
you're discounting?
Yeah, I'm just it should really be 1.75. But some of you, did you leave by choice or did you just leave where your countries because you had to?
I left because I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because yeah, it was a civil war. I left in 1977.
Well, that was right.
Oh, right after.
That was the
after
start.
the game.
The beginning of the war, yeah.
75, I think, or 76 is the Civil War.
75 started. Yeah, 77.
Yeah.
Left to France for 1 year, then to Australia for 4 years. Then I ended up in Edmonton.
Were you mailed over from Australia? Like, how did you?
I'm serious.
How do you head to Australia and suddenly find yourself in Edmonton?
Well, I have a sister here, so
okay.
I come to visit her. Yeah.
Makes sense now.
I decided to stay in Edmonton because,
You like the snow?
Yeah.
well, not really. I didn't like
Maybe
the
he didn't
snow.
like the kangaroos on the other
I
side.
was single, so I decided I want to get married, and I thought it's a good place to raise kids here, you know. Tend to be good place to raise my kids here.
So you've been here from 1982.
Yeah.
سو لك بيحكوا عربي؟
شوي.
مشوا حالهم؟
Not bad.
مين اللي بيحكوا عربي؟
They've been to
حسن
Lebanon a
بيحكوا
few
عربي
times.
ولادك انت مضبوط، اضبط واحد فينا حسن.
ولا يحكون عربي يعني.
انت اولادك بيحكوا عربي؟
إيه.
مش عراقي بيحكوا عربي؟
Let me
لك
think.
الله يرضى عليك ما حدا ضحكني يا اخي هون الله يرضى عليك.
ما في مسلم.
وزع شو بترزع لي اياها.
ما في موس انت don't worry يا خيي. Why is it important for you guys إنه يحكوا عربي يعني? Like I have some other friends who just frankly don't care. Why does it matter?
Arabic is beyond language. It's part of the culture, and if you wanna keep your culture, keep connection with your background, it's more than just words.
Is it more
This-
satisfaction for you or for the kids? Because it
No,
sounds
it's
like
just
it's
get them-
satisfaction for you just to feel like you're connected back home.
No, it gives them idea about their roots. It gives them idea about their identity. It opens opportunities for them.
Okay.
So there's more to it.
And it's
than
extra
just-
language for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said something interesting. Why do you tie a language to an identity?
religion.
No.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not.
انا ما فيني احكي كثير بس ما فيني اسكت كمان.
I can't help it.
Just think about the Quebec situation, right? And the French language. Think about the Aboriginal community and the languages. So you lose the language, you lose part of the culture.
I don't know, and I don't believe in no في شيء اسمه Arab identity in the first place. And if you're being particular about Lebanese identity or Egyptian or even Palestinian or whatever it is, Sudanese, I don't think there is something that combines it all into calling it all as one identity. I really don't believe that. Like, and you can see, like, in my opinion, you can see a lot of proof in that. When you speak Arabic, or when you speak Arabic as a Sudanese, or you as an Iraqi, or you as Iraqi, I don't understand. I have to really focus a lot for me to understand.
But that's
Yeah, but
that's an accent.
if he speaks formal Arabic, هتفهم.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, I don't know if that defines the...
يا اخي ايه بس اللانجوج is something بس ما في عندك culturally كمان there's so much diversity يعني ما فيش
Well, your culture is defined by the language you speak, by the country,
Partially.
and by religion also.
طبعا
Yeah,
أنا لكن أنا my son as an example he can speak it very well. This is the language I grew up speaking to my neighbors, to my friends, and if I'm sharing it with him, I feel actually proud. It's not
Yeah,
matter
but it's
of
a question,
for me.
isn't that a question of nostalgia? It's not a question of defining who he is it?
No, to me no.
Yeah, I agree with you.
No. And
انا
then
عم بعلم اولادي عربي
yeah.
وبنتي بتروح بتدرس نهار السبت بمدرسه عربيه عم يعلموها هلا القراءه والكتابه.
Relax, my friend.
عفوا بس تحمل الموس خبرني الله يرضى عليك. بس هي to enrich her knowledge base يعني اكثر من انه
لانه they're gonna adapt with the culture in here regardless.
For sure.
So مش حياخدوا نفس الكالتشر اللي انت عشت فيها واللي عشتها وهيك. بس انت بس تروح على البيت بس هن يرجعوا على البيت ايه انت you enforce your culture, your religion.
Your enforce. Very Arabic of you.
Yeah, very Arabic. Enforce, very
No democracy. I always advocate for more of an assimilation process. If you decide to make somewhere your home,
Yeah.
and in my opinion, and I mean, please forgive me, I don't have kids, so I don't know how others who have
me
kids
neither,
feel
so
about it.
I'm good.
Yeah. So basically, the way I see it, once you make a decision in a خلاص, you're immigrating somewhere, you either are gonna engross yourself into that culture and live with it, or you're gonna live in a cocoon. What my problem is with in other words, a sub-community that just deals with each other and they go to an Arabic barber. Look,
Like
we're very
us. Yeah,
like
yeah,
us,
so,
just what we're doing right now.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
It's a bad example.
But and I really and I don't know, maybe the grass is greener always on the other side, but I really believe in integration as an assimilation is a much better formula in the new world than just leaving it.
look at the residential schools.
Yeah, integration is one thing. Assimilation, drop that word completely because just look what the residential school
Yeah,
has
it's a
done
disaster.
to the Aboriginal
You wiped
people.
the entire community.
I'm not talking about forced assimilation.
But even the idea to assimilate, you can integrate without becoming whatever the other person or the other group is. In Canada, I don't care how far back you go, Canada is a country of immigrants, period. So everybody is an immigrant other than the Aboriginal people in this country. So it's a country of immigrants.
Yeah, and it's really beautiful. Now it doesn't matter if you're Egyptian or Iraqi or Saudi or whatever, Sudani or Lebanese. I honestly feel we are all one. We are all one team. We are all, whether we speak the language or not. Why?
Look
at his face.
La.
How come we feel here that we're one and everything is home and back home or back wherever we came from, every one of us, we don't?
Well, it's your politics and
What do you
money
mean
and
we
greed.
don't?
The problem is who defines humanity correctly. In some of our countries, unfortunately, the humanity is not defined correctly. I would look at you based on, for example, on your sect, on your tribe. Here, I think it's not about your background or what's your sect, what's your religion. No, it's the first thing is do you act as a human being? Do you behave as a human being? That's all what I need.
Humanity.
I mean, exactly. You do your job in this in Canada, and in Canada, I think they expect when you come to Canada to not to melt, but to contribute. So even if you let's say if you come from a different culture, if there are some certain traits that you bring with you and you can add them to the society and they will make the society even better.
Yeah, but by whose definition? You say to make it even better. A lot of people I see, they come, مش ضروري بالعرب بس everywhere. They bring their baggage with them, right?
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, again, the passage to live here, let's say normally, is being human. Like that's my point.
قصة التقسيم. أنا عشت طول حياتي أو مش طول حياتي sorry the first part of my life not knowing إنه في شيء تاني غير العرب مسلمين in the whole 22 and 24 العالم كله كنت عن جد مفكر إن العالم العربي كله يا إسلام سني. I did not realize إنه مثلا بس تطلع على لبنان أو تطلع على سوريا أو على العراق you're gonna find everything from all shades of grey basically. إنه هو Lebanon has 17 different religious groups. And I think part of it all is the fact that the majority discriminates and ignores the existence of others. How do you guys feel about coming from a minority? And Jay, you're also from a minority, I guess, right? Rami,
No, in Sudan I have never felt that, never. I'm Christian, minority, but my friends, my neighbors are Muslim. I know they're Muslim, they know I'm Christian, but has never ever talked about religion. I'm welcomed in their house. I sit with them, sit with their family. In Ramadan, we eat fatur together. I mean, I have never ever seen any kind of discrimination, none at all, zero. I mean, the neighbors.
But if that's the case, what's the story with South? Why did South Sudan split from Sudan?
No, I don't think South Sudan split because it's religion or something. The South Sudan are completely different. They don't speak the Arabic language. They have different traditions. They have different culture.
Okay, and I don't mean to defy what you're saying, but let me tell you this. Part of my schooling was a boarding school. Most of my friends were Sudanese. They told me about situations in which people get discriminated against by the color of their skin inside Sudan.
Yeah, because you don't belong to the Sudanese people, like you're a foreigner. That's like no different than I go to Lebanon now. I'm going to be dark, completely different than Lebanese culture or Lebanese people. Yeah. So now you're going to see me as a foreigner.
بس انه حتى نحن عندنا بلبنان مثلا discrimination by constitution. يعني عندك نحن 17 طائفة معترف فيهم. عندك الرئيس الجمهورية مفروض يكون مسيحي ماروني. وبعدين التعايش عم تحكوا انت انا سوري ما كنتش عم بحكي كثير كان في موس
وين ابو موس طيب؟
Yeah, who's next? You're next.
قصة التعايش والديفرنت كلتشرز وهيدي موضوع كبير هذا. بس ما عندك الديسكريميشن والريسيزم موجود بمجتمعاتنا هنا هونيك وحاملين الباكج معنا في قسم كبير من نحن هون.
لا but you see it all over. You do see it here as well, right?
Oh yeah, you see it all over.
It's subtle, but it's you see it
cannot
everywhere.
change the system.
Exactly, subtle is the word for it. Yeah.
ده أكتر حاجة.
Wasn't like that before.
Wow, that's very short.
He can't see the back right now, don't tell him.
تحلق موس هلا كنت.
يعني not bad.
No, there's no not bad.
What's your success rate?
غسان حلو في كل شيء.
تسلم أخي تسلم. شو هذا؟
شو ما عملت؟
Can you show me the mirror?
Whatever you do,
Give me the mirror now.
What number is this?
-1.
I need number 5 if that's number 1 minus.
أنا بدي أرجع لموضوع كنت عم تحكوا عنه هلا من شوي قصة التعايش والاختلاط بالمجتمع. يعني أنت عم تحكي إنه هون بكندا we celebrate diversity وعندك مجموعة diversity. أنا I lived in the States قبل ما جيت لهون. one of the interesting things in my observation إنه عندك تحت it's a melting pot. You're either in or you're out. هون بتشوف أنت it's like a salad basically. بتشوف الخيار واللاتس والتوماتوز. It's different societies, cultures, backgrounds, whatever you want to call it, assembled together and each one maintaining its own identity. المصريين زبطوا وضعنا أكتر يا أخي. أنتوا مهمين.
أنا رأيي الشخصي إنه هو getting to know one another it goes a long ways into يعني هلا لما بحكي معك وبحكي مع فيصل ومع عدنان وفلاح يعني you get to know the people as people not that as he من العراق وشيعة يعني that definition doesn't exist here.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I mean, it's not your sect or your religion.
بس أنا هون بس أتعرف على شخص بديش أقول عربي بشكل عام بحكي لبناني يمكن أكتر. أول سؤال تسأله منين؟
Exactly.
أول إنه
حتى
اللي عم يسألك منين بده يعرف شو دينك. وخاصة يعني يمكن أنت part of a majority ما بيهمك الموضوع بس بتكون أنت part of the minority that you've been discriminated against all your life. That's something important. أنا مثلا كدرزي بلبنان إنه هون في كتير عالم بالعالم العربي حتى أصحابنا هون بيسألك شو درزي أنا مش سامع فيها أنا. Druze. The first common question Jews. كيف إنه Jews لا يا أخي Druze.
أنا في حالتي كان الموضوع مختلف. The majority is Sunnah, but I'm Shia. So all my education is Sunni education.
What does it mean, Sunni education? I don't get it.
No, but it's like as Islamic.
I think religion maybe the religion.
As a religion.
Yeah. So it's like part of the Islamic, like the religious
classes, I guess. Or
yeah, it's like أنت كافر. Yeah, أنت تدرس حاجة إنك أنت شيعة كافر. Yeah. فكان يعني بالنسبة لي كان. أنت عندك جزء من
يعني أنت فليت نعيما يعني أنت فليت by force basically you immigrated.
The official story I came here to do my masters, but the real story I came here to run away from Iraq, honestly, because once you are done from university في خدمة العلم. You have to go to the army.
I did run away from that.
Did you have a similar story? I know your story. Your
story is even worse. I heard it before.
Your story is compared to mine is
it's nothing.
Tell them. Did you hear it before, Jay?
لا شو
Okay, now I to hear it.
أنا طلعت من العراق 1991 أو إنه تقريبا هرب جه صدام من الكويت. فصارت انتفاضة وأنا كنت يعني من المنتفضين. نعم من الثوار. نعم اعتقد في البلد اللي انا عايش فيها تقريبا بقت حوالي 14 يوم الانتفاضه الثوره. بعدين we couldn't يعني we failed. So anyhow يعني العراقي army took over. I was lucky to a certain degree because one of the people in the uprising was with us بس هو كان undercover. And at the same time me and my brother did him a big favor. So he told my brother, he said, look, tell Falah to leave. He's been blacklisted.
What happened to other people on the blacklist?
Yeah, what does it mean, a blacklist for Iraq?
Blacklist is you've been
السكين يا بطيخ.
Terminated. One of the guys like this is what I've been told. I mean, I had to hide at that time, but I mean, I know someone who was caught in the checkpoint, and what they did is they threw him on the ground and smashed his head with a big rock. And his mother was watching it. His mother was watching, couldn't actually claim her son. So this is like how much brutality. Anyhow, so I had to leave. Like I had to sometime walk, sometime take a car just to avoid coming to the checkpoints. Exactly. So in south of Iraq, I had to bribe someone to take us to the Allied Forces checkpoint. And at that checkpoint, to a certain degree, I felt I was free now because there was no more.
It's safe.
Yeah, exactly, safe.
Feel the safety.
Safe. So then I stayed in political refugee camp for 6 years.
Wow! Why
6 years?
Yeah,
in the desert.
In the desert,
out of nowhere.
In one of the neighbor countries. So like. So I'm going to give you an example, and maybe this also could shed, some explanation to what we have right now like in the Arabic world.
Okay.
واحد من شبابنا عم يتكلم مع الحرس عم يتكلمون عن السياسة، فقال انه بيتكلم على فلسطين المحتلة. فلسطين محتلة، قال لو يعني الإسرائيليين أخذوا القدس يعني. الحرس قال له لا بالله
الملك يدري.
والملك يدري.
Come on.
That was no, I'm not kidding. That was 19.
He didn't know. What year was that?
Yeah, no, 1994. Also, one of the guys said, "Why do you want to leave? You know, these countries and go to the West?
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to? Where is the Arab food? Where is this and that?" And I honestly not brainwashed him, but I changed his mind in less than a minute. And now you can see why we have lots of, people suicide.
Have you been back?
رجعت بال 2008.
And what year did you get here then?
I came here in 1996.
96?
And then I had to make a kind of a strong and very courageous, I guess, decision to go back and get a degree.
Okay.
And I went back and
Well, that's how you met
yeah.
son. I'm sorry to hear that, but that's fine.
No, this is
Out of your whole story, the worst part was meeting me. Heidi, that's what they find. The bottom part, the trouble of life.
Do I regret it?
I think they all do.
I knew Falah from the first day that I came here.
والله
Yeah.
انت جيت قبله لا
No. After to do
So
my
what do you
masters.
think
and
of
then
what's going on in Iraq now?
Iraq.
A brother killing his own brother.
It's everywhere, not only
I think
anyway.
it's not only Iraq. It's getting like what we have in the I call this kind of Daesh or ISIS. This is a new movement. I think it's a kind of epidemic. It's a tumor that's growing there. It's a cancer that's going from one country to the other.
Yeah, guys, but okay, you call it a tumor, but its roots stem from all of us at the end of the day, right?
It's like
not that I support any of this stuff, but what I'm trying to say is this: إحنا لو ما في عنا شيء غلط بالculture تبعنا أو interpreting our religion wrongly or whatever it is, كيف بيطلع عنا هيك عالم؟
it's like the equation for Daesh or ISIS is an education for the people plus fatawa من religious people plus money from the politician equal chaos.
Plus the interfering from the Western country.
You're gonna still complain about what? About the fact that we were occupied for a long time or whatever? يا أخي إحنا من عنا المشكلة مش من عند حدا تاني.
Exactly, I agree with him.
I know.
الculture تبعنا اللي عم بيطلع هيك. If it produces at the end of the day violence based on anything حتى in general, if it produces violence, that means something is wrong with the formula. Listen, I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom. I still admire a lot about our culture. There's a lot to be proud of, and we're all proud of it. But there are things to be fixed, and we have to fix them.
It's the political system.
Yeah.
When you're the only way to get you right is to
fight for
it. That becomes the attitude. When you oppose the government and you're thrown in jail, and this is the only, and you get tortured. This is what you learn, generation after generation.
Of violence.
Exactly.
دكتور انت كيف تربي اولادك على الدين يا اخي؟ انه ننطلق من هون. طب اذا اجت بنتك او ابنك سالك انه طب ما هودي تحت عنا انت اللي عم تعلمنا اياه هون ولا عم نشوفه تحت. How do you explain that to them?
So saying إن في human element, and religion is different than human attitudes or human behaviors. يعني. But it's up to you to decide how do you want to react, and the faith gives you guidelines, and it's up to you to decide which way you're going to take.
مثلا, how do you explain Christmas to your kids? Like it's Christmas time here, because schools are off, the community is off. I don't understand how.
Our family specifically, بنشرح لهم إن Christmas is a celebration for Christian faith. We are Muslims. We have different celebrations. We respect people celebrating Christmas, but we also celebrate our Eid, and we make it as colorful as Christmas to them, so they feel that this is a special day for us, and they grew to understand it. After a while, they grew to understand it.
أنا أولادي خلقانين هون وربيانين هون وكل أصحابهم يهود ومسيحية وإسلام ودروز وشيعة.
Do they retain their culture? How are they with the religion?
Very good. عندي بنت أنا محجبة وبتصلي 5 أوقات وبتصوم وصاحبتها بنروح لروح يهودية.
How did she come to decide to wear the hijab like?
On her own.
How old was she? Or
she's now 22. She started wearing it when she was 18. Like my son has a Jewish friend. He came to me when he was 17. He says, Dad, I want to have a picnic in the backyard. But I want to tell you something, because, you know, he was born here and he listened to the news about Israel and the Jews. He says, I'm bringing a Jewish friend over. I said, that's good. He says, you don't mind? I said, no. Is he a good guy? He says, yeah. I said, that's what count, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
Humanity.
Humanity.
Back to the point.
Yeah.
You guys, I have a question ringing in my head. معلش يعني سؤال. So my question to you, you guys as Muslim people in Canada, do you feel being prejudiced? Does anybody? Like I don't know.
أنا أقول لك على شغلة بتصير معي كتير. Okay. Every company I've worked for, بالأول طبعا في نوع من ال distance. When they get used to you and stuff like that, they know you're one of a normal guy or whatever. The jokes start, and the jokes are almost always about me being a terrorist, about something about me blowing something up. So it's tacit, it's there. It won't open up until you drag it out, or a situation is there for it to get exposed.
هم يصيروا مرتاحين معك
لما يرتاحوا معك ساعتها بصير يقول لك وانت terrorist وكذا. There's guys that I walk into the office. I'll take example. My previous company, my boss, okay, until today we're still friends. He keeps sending me text, hello, infidel. And that's what he does, and I have to reply by I kill you.
Yeah, but that's completely on the funny side, not as in like they mean it.
Yeah, but why does it happen in every single company I work for? How does it happen with every single?
Does it have to do with your look?
It's your accent. It's your accent, probably. Yeah.
Right. What do you mean my looks? I look like a terrorist?
Changing the topic شوي, talking about looks. This guy has lost a lot of weight, as you guys can imagine.
He did. He lost 40-some pounds.
40 pounds.
Good job.
We have to gang up on this guy now.
I'll give you all the credit, man.
Yeah.
No, he lost it and I found it.
Lost and found?
Yeah, lost and found over there.
No, but this is.
You lost quite a few as well.
Yeah.
A day, how much do you lose?
30 kilograms, which is
60 pounds.
yeah, almost 70
God.
pounds. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Because of Brazil.
You played soccer?
you were scared.
That's why they lost everyone. No, I was in the middle of Amazon. There's not much halal food because I'm restricted to halal food.
So you stopped eating?
Exactly. So it's only seafood and exercise for almost a year.
A lot of beans.
Yeah,
a lot of protein.
I got a nutritionist, and she said to me, go swimming. So I said, okay, I'll go swimming, but I'm not a swimmer. I can swim, but not really. So I went and got at the YMCA this young girl, she's an instructor, 17-year-old. And she says to me, swim. So I swim. She says, you have a problem. I said, what? She said, your head is dipping down. I said, so what am I supposed to do? She said, try to lift your head. So I lift my head, and then I go to the other end of the pool. She said, now you have a problem. I said, what? She said, your feet is down. I said, lady, do you know that I have a bump? So it's either this way or this way. She wants me to swim like her.
It doesn't work better.
Physics doesn't allow it.
Center of gravity.
Yeah, but it's interesting to honestly to try to be committed.
على يوتيوب
عميل انه
So قصة هذا losing weight وكذا يا أخي أنت start a business.
I should think about it. Just add it to the businesses that I have or.
No, you're Lebanese. That's the qualification you want.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
What business do you have, Adnan?
No, like even when I first came here, I just always thought I want to open up my own businesses and stuff. So I started with the cleaning business.
Remember
I used
that?
to clean.
I remember that. Yeah.
What? You were one of his customers?
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one.
No, I had a few
I thought I was
customers.
special.
And then, it went well, but I mean, it was on a smaller scale, and I thought I want to.
Less than $1 million a year. It's
Yeah,
pocket change.
no.
شيله.
Yeah, شو هي? No.
شو هي؟
Yeah, شو هي? and then opened a restaurant, and now I'm thinking about different different ventures, just totally different than the restaurants or cleaning. It's basically the BMX and skate park indoor. Even Jay he has a business. He's Lebanese, of course. Yeah.
So that's the
because he's
qualification.
Lebanese.
Yeah.
Not because he's Lebanese.
Yeah,
شو
we
انت
like
مش
to take
عاجبك هيك
risks.
انت؟
Yeah.
like when he has his own business, Jamal. Yeah,
agree
he's
with you.
Lebanese. Yeah.
معظم اللبنانيين I think في عنا certain drive.
Why is that?
They like to
I don't
have their
know.
own
I
business.
think
You like to take risks,
yeah, we
maybe?
like to take risks. We're
Yeah,
very
it's a normal,
competitive.
yeah.
We like to do
They
things.
don't like to
You had
be
businesses.
bossed around, you know,
Exactly.
so they like to be their own boss.
You know, the Lebanese are together, they're very weak. Individually, they're very strong. That's
Exactly.
That's the truth.
That's true.
Rami, you have a business. You're not Lebanese, are you? Or do you have some Lebanese blood? We don't know.
Some blood.
Lebanese friends.
That works too.
And I had my own business for years. For actually 18 years, I was in Westminster Mall, selling ice cream, cotton candy, and things like that. But I always wanted to do real estate. So when I got the divorce, I said, okay, hell with it. I'm going to go into real estate.
Yeah.
And actually, I achieved top 5% of realtors in the city with my small company, which is really nice. And the feeling when you achieve something like that, it's not just about money. It's just like
No, yeah, money is a
I
byproduct.
have done it.
Money is a byproduct. It's whatever drives you. It's whatever drives you to achieve, whatever fires your engines in the morning. That's the reward. You know,
So-
you wake up and you're ready to give it 110%.
But this is just my own opinion for Canada to give me the opportunity to grow. That's really good. Like earlier we were talking about what was it? Wasta, or Marifa. Somebody has to, somebody to help you out. But in here you can
We didn't
start.
need that, yeah.
It depends.
So you
No,
always talk
I
about
disagree
like,
with you because like I did like my PhD from here, and I still I couldn't find a job here in Canada. So wherever I apply, they either say like I'm overqualified for PhD level, for engineering level, or I lack industrial experience for PhD level. So I even questioned once the hiring manager, how could I'm overqualified for entry-level PhD job and I'm qualified for retail store that I'm working in right now.
To pay the
And-
bills.
Yeah, how come? And Canada invests almost $150,000 in my education. All my education was sponsored and funded by Canadian government, the Canadian companies. So for me, they just wasted their money if you are not going to hire a Canadian graduate. So why are you funding them? So as I see it, it's like the door is locked for me because I don't have a connection.
I think a big part of it is just being in the right place at the right time too.
Yeah,
You know, like most of us who came here, I don't know. I didn't know anybody when I came.
yeah.
Almost all of us didn't know anybody. At least not at the professional level that we work in now.
Yeah.
We are some of the lucky ones. I'm sure we all know many foreign trained professionals, doctors or engineers who are working as cab drivers or working in restaurants.
I agree. It's like the job market right now is
the
totally
job
damaged
market
because
is
of the
not,
oil price.
It's very soft. I know why we're having hard time as Arabs getting into this because of jokes that this guy makes and the way he makes media perceives us.
Yeah, but is the question Arab? Like you said,
ask him.
if there's
His
Arab
jokes-
guys.
his jokes
I
to
don't
his
think it's
boss.
Arab guys.
to get your point, it's not people like me who joke about
Yeah.
racism that cause the problem. No, how are we perceived? How are we perceived? We're perceived by specific stereotypes that the media create, and it's an image that's created by not us. We do we propagate it? We joke about it, but we don't propagate it, do we?
Yeah, I don't care if you're a Christian or you're a Durzi or whatever. If you're an Arab background or a South Asian background, you're lumped all into that same category. We're terrorists and we're ISIS and they have to protect against us. And that's just being used as a political ploy to gain votes. But it's the movies and the TV series that have a big effect on the public's perception of what we
Why
are.
do you think they choose to show other people as?
Well, right now, Shortly after the World War II, it was Germans and Japanese.
Before there was the communists, right? In the 70s and the
And
Cold
even
War.
in the 40s and 50s, it was just before the German and the Japanese movies were, it was the Native Americans. When you look at the movies that are developed, the Arab is in those movies as a terrorist. And it's a big seller, it sells big. But at the end of the day, we still pay the price for it one way or another, you know? And it's our image, it's our image.
Don't you think no part of it is our own responsibility? Not in the fact that we're terrorists or anything like that.
No. Hey, anytime.
But we are complacent about the fact that we allow others to tell our stories.
But if some nutcase down the street happens to kill somebody, and he happens to be a Muslim, and he says Allahu Akbar and he shoots him in the street, I'm not going to apologize to the Canadian public because I'm a Muslim. You know, he's a criminal just like anybody else. He committed a crime. You convict this guy or whatever, but not, okay, he's because of his religion now that we all have to take out ads in the newspapers or we have to be out there, you know, denouncing terrorism or whatever because the guy was a Muslim.
Yeah,
I would never do that.
I think that should be this should be very obvious because the percentage of those people compared to the rest of the Muslim people is almost like nothing.
Yeah, but I mean,
your portrayal in the media. Your portrayal in the media. If you're an Arab, you are a terrorist.
Yeah, regardless whether you're Muslim or not, you know, if as you said, if you're from the Middle East or Southeast Asia, you're just lumped in that basket.
والله صرت له منيح لبشار واو
نو بتأثر له بعد شوي خيي انا بدفع لك زياده بس اقصر له شوي بعد
يا اخي شعور حلو من يكون عندك شعر.
نعم
شعور حلو انه يكون عندك شعر.
والله To go back, Jay, to go back to what you were talking about. You asked a very good question. What are we really able to influence our image in the media?
لا no يعني أنت look at the circle that the people you deal with, the people that are not familiar with the Arabs or Islam or you know, يعني the average people that you deal with on a daily basis, from client, from subcontractors, whoever they are. Yes, you have a big case and impact in protecting them. I mean, the way you portray themselves, yourself, or the way you present that image.
I know, but
so when they hear that story in the news, are they going to believe the news or are they going to believe you? Not necessarily believe you, but they're going to say they're going to see the difference. Okay, that's what the TV telling me, but I know this guy and this guy that are totally not like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's so part of our duties. Yani.
So what you're saying, the way to change it is to
lead by example.
Yeah, but that's such a small communal effect. يعني قد ايه circle of influence تبعك.
It all makes a difference, though.
There is a lot more that can be done. It's not just limited to our immediate circle of influence.
We're not as involved in politics as we should. Next.
Yeah, wrong.
I'm ready again, actually.
Yeah, he just sneezed. Yeah.
You know why we don't do it? And I also have a theory as to why we don't.
Okay. Of course.
I always have an opinion about everything.
As usual.
Conspiracy.
I believe we don't do it because simply we come from a culture.
We're not used to it.
We're not used to it.
Dictatorship.
Exactly. We come from societies that just suppress those feelings.
I like your point, actually. I like it.
عمرو شكله هيك بس بيفهم هو.
We're missing أرجيلة كمان يعني we're missing أرجيلة. We should talk about this.
Actually جمال يا أخي أنت شو بك إنه أرجيلة هون ما كنا حلينا الموضوع.
بكرة معانا قال دليفري.
دليفري وينك ببيروت؟
Who's respecting more I say?
سوريا قاعد يقول لك
We want to buy investment. What kind of return?
Can I ask all of you guys a question? Since I'm the only one that's originally born here.
Are you discriminating against us?
Would you guys ever go back to your homelands and live there rather than be here?
No, I wouldn't. Well, I'll visit, but I don't see myself going back there. So.
For me, it's like when I went back to Iraq in 2012, 2011 to bring my family back, I didn't feel like Iraq is my home.
You felt like a foreigner, or?
Yeah.
After you immigrated, did you go back to Lebanon again?
بقيت 5 سنين قبل ما اروح على لبنان، يعني جيت لهون بعدين 5 سنين نزلت. It wasn't the same. I changed. compared to the Lebanese people, and I think that's why you didn't belong, because you changed and they changed in two different ways, maybe, because you're not in the same. مش بنفس
Because your mind is free, you can think differently, you can see things from different perspectives.
حتى هلا بس انزل على لبنان أنا I feel I'm foreigner.
Outsider.
I'm outsider, and even I have some words that I cannot speak anymore. بيعرفوا دغري إنه and I'm foreigner here because I have accent, so I don't know.
You're stateless.
Stateless.
Hey, sorry, I'm the only one who's stateless here.
صحيح أكثر شيء يمكن هون جمال.
جمال انت شو؟ You're Australian?
استراليا بدي ارجع
The
استراليا.
then go at your baby.
Australian citizen, my friend.
Where's home?
Edmonton.
Edmonton specifically.
It's home. I went to Lebanon in '91. Stayed there 2 years.
The بعد
you
الحرب.
stayed. Okay.
In '91, yeah.
Yeah, بعد الحرب.
And I thought I'll take the kids and see if I could live there for 4 or 5 years, let them learn the language and tradition. Wasted $200,000 and come back.
Man, why did you play poker, Tayyip?
So, no, this is home. Like what he says, people different there. I cannot communicate
on the
with
same level
people
anymore.
or get along. They got different mentality, and you know, I'm used to peaceful life. Here, everything goes by law. Over there, it's the other way around. You know.
It's interesting.
شو دكتور؟
I go for
أنت
visits, but
ساكت
not
هيك
to leave.
عجبني وضعك.
Would you go back, Hassan, or?
Quite difficult. Living here for 20 years, you look at things differently, you work differently, you approach things differently. So it's a bit of a challenge to go back and try and adjust again to things that you probably don't agree with as well.
That's the key one. Yeah.
The way I look at home is where my family can live safely. I love Canada and I love Edmonton. Okay, so my nuclear family is here, right? But my extended family, when I say extended, I mean my other sisters, my brother, etc., my dad. I can't bring them here. So how can I feel home? We're in a place that I can't really, establish actual roots in terms of I'm satisfied.
So maybe it's our generation, the first generation, that's going to be
lost.
Maybe that's the right word. Yeah, I mean.
But I'll tell you something, Annie. Out of all the experiences in my life, out of all the places I've lived, this is the closest semblance of a home that I've ever had.
Arif Faisal, your question is very difficult if you're asking me personally, because I caught between two things, wants and needs. So, my needs, and to be serious, the Sudanese culture, the friends I grew up, the area I grew up, the kindness of the people, the smile, and all that is in Sudan. It still has a big part on my heart. The wants is the security, like you guys say, that I am free of speech. I can work. I can succeed. Nobody is to point a finger at me. So I am caught between two. Could I call this home? Yeah, it is home. I feel it is home. I will call it home. There is that part in Sudan. Can I call it home? Oh yeah, I call it home.
One of the advantages that we have here is the ability to have more than one home, if you will. Are you Canadian? Yes. And do we call it home? Yes. Do we have the luxury to call somewhere else as well, whether it's of the old country or wherever it is, and have the freedom to practice and go back and do whatever we need to do? That's, I think, one of the great advantages that we have here. And to me, what defines home is where can I have the freedom of mind, not freedom of speech, freedom of thinking, freedom of doing what I think is right, without interfering with other people's freedoms, without having my values being imposed on somebody else, or vice versa, having somebody else's values being imposed on me. That's home. And I truly found it here.
Yeah, you look different.
نعيما.
Yeah.
النهارده ايدك ولا
هو
ايدك؟
بده فلاقة.
قوم وانا بصلك. يلا يلا شباب،
يلا ارجيلي يلا
يلا على ارجيلي. يلا
يلا خلصنا
جاي يلا
يلا شكرا جمال تيجي معنا.
ثانك يو عن جد
والله يا ريت.
يلا ما بتأرجل يا خيي.
بلا بس والله مشغول شوي. الله يخليك. ما شاء الله نخلص من هون.
يلا يعطيك العافيه.
يعافيك تشرفنا. خليني اكل. نشوفكم ان شاء الله.
يلا who's racing with
يلا
you?
زعيم نشوفك.
Nice meeting you. We'll see you again.
جمال انا حسلم عليك زي ما السودانيه بيعملوا.
أيوة.
بيعملوا هيك. لا لا هيك ما فيها لا هيك وبس. يلا شكرا لك.
شكرا. خلي لي
شكرا.
الله معكم. باي باي. مع السلامه.